today my guest is very special and he has a very special message, super unique, and we'll jump right to that. So, Trevor, just in general, what is your topic?
Well, my topic is focused around relics, ancient artifacts of Mesoamerica that demonstrate evidence of paleo contact and the hybridization of our species. So, a quick summary of my background is my scientific training comes from the private sector. And during my time at a quantum physics laboratory, I was involved in research to help investigate the antiquity of a certain collection of artifacts from Mexico. We met last year at Contact
Yes,
in the Desert,
yes.
which was great.
And it is where ufologists and light workers and starseeds meet together.
That's right.
And it was a table with artifacts, and you can buy an ancient artifact with aliens depicted on it.
Yes, my friend Joshua Sizzler has been going to that event for many years. I've been going to that event for many years. It's a great event. Meeting you's been so great, and following your work, and your work aligns very strongly with some of the evidence depicted on these artifacts. So it was fun to meet you and to see you exploring that collection. And I have a small collection with me here today.
Yeah, start showing an artifact. What is an artifact?
Sure. These artifacts are actually handmade relics. This is a very interesting one because it connects with Bashar channeling, this one specifically. We'll get into that topic a little bit later as we explore more about this topic. But
Uh-huh.
um,
It
the-
focuses on the face, so it has to be near the face. Uh-huh.
So they're very interesting. They're very anomalous. My focus on my research has been the material composition of these artifacts. Their tooling, where my finger rides over, the engravings are extremely fine, around 30 microns in depth, which is about the thickness of a human hair. So whoever made these had a very incredible capacity to create art at this level. This piece itself does feature a woman giving birth to a hybrid extraterrestrial.
And we'll show the pictures with better resolution. We just show that we have them at hand.
Yes, we have some of my collection here, and some of these pieces are featured in my latest publication, my report on their antiquity and material composition. And yes, in short, they're very anomalous. They're very strange. They are weakly radioactive. They do
Slightly radioactive, okay?
Yep. And a lot of anthropomorphic and zoomorphic beings, and it's very it's difficult to describe in a short summary. But
So where do they get them?
these pieces come from central Mexico, in a state called Jalisco. And this collection has been known to the international community for many years, many decades. Generally speaking, this collection is considered, they're officially considered fakes, modern forgeries by government institutions.
Wait. So, see the eyes. Do we look similar?
Cousins, cosmic cousins. So, the ET theme, the ET topic is very pronounced on the collection. It's kind of what makes it part of its core essence. Due to that nature, it's very provocative. It's very,
You have to speak to a microphone somehow.
it's very difficult for certain institutions and academic groups to kind of wrap their heads around this. I know your research and others have really kind of painted the picture. So, yeah, my research helps demonstrate that they are of genuine antiquity, and they demonstrate the interaction of ETs and our species, and possibly the genesis of our species.
All right. So, yeah, when I first saw the collection, it looked so modern,
Right.
and the grays looked so ridiculously cartoonish. Then I first took it as a plastic manufactured by Mexicans somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you're fighting that with science.
Absolutely. Most people have that exact same first impression. And they're not 3D printed, they're not casted, they're genuinely handmade by someone or beings of antiquity.
Right.
And we may get into some, this topic has many facets, but Bashar channeling is one of the resources that we've utilized to better understand their, it's hard to wrap your head around. I have a few pieces here with me. You've seen a small collection, but there are about 10,000 of these pieces. So at that scale, you're really looking at a storyboard because each artifact demonstrates so much. And,
right.
and some of the images we'll be sharing, there's a lot of written glyphs and languages that certainly may tie into genetic sequencing and other aspects.
No. You're jumping forward. We're still at the at the topic of the, is it real? And then what does it show? Like two steps.
Sure.
So when I saw that, I thought, yeah, it's a commercial product, and it's very cheap comparable to impact. So you can't really have such an ancient artifact for that cheap. It was hundreds of dollars, but not thousands. Some of them were thousands, but small ones were hundreds. So I thought, okay, Mexican manufacturers just make that for ufologists, and you can have it on your shelf and bluff to the visitors. And then I mentioned that to someone else who looked smart, and he would just stop talking to me. He just completely ignored me after that. Like I don't understand. And then I paid more attention, and it just I guess for me it was how serious are the people who work on that, and how much effort they put, and just those who are not mostly commercial, who are not selling that, those who are actually doing the research. And Trevor seems to be not on the sales part, but on the actual research part. And then basically the data. You have to show the data.
Absolutely.
But did you see how they get it from the ground actually?
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell me that.
So to give you some greater context, this project I've been involved for about 8 years. At the time I was introduced, you mentioned people who are serious, people who are doing research and scientific and laboratory work. So the group that I was introduced through were already analyzing them in laboratory settings. So my introduction was at that level. I did go to Mexico.
So you visited the group and you saw the people who are serious, who are scientists.
Let me give you more context.
Yeah.
I worked at a laboratory for Nassim Haramein, who is a theoretical physicist. During that time, he already had a collection of these artifacts.
Let's show the picture.
Yeah.
I'm grabbing that. Hold on. Entire. Yeah. Ta-da.
Yes. So this is many years ago. You can see some of the artifacts on our table. So at no point have I been involved in the resale or commercial aspect of this project. It's all been scientific and research based. Later that year, I also went to Mexico to visit the archaeological sites and see some of the collections, which we can also display, private collections. So, in terms of their authenticity and if they're fake or if they're real, it's, all opinions are valid.
No, not all. Yeah, so you saw that people are serious and...
Well, of course, in this next image...
Oh, who is on the left? It looks like I see the gentleman on the pictures.
Yes, his name is Scott Brown. He was our chief technology officer, former NASA engineer. He worked at the lab with all of us, and he has a small collection, and we work together very closely on this project, and he's very, very much involved. He's a collector and a scientist through and through.
So these were like private lab or public
Yes,
lab? Private
private
lab.
laboratory here in Southern California, developing
Oh,
technology.
it's not in Mexico, it's in California.
The laboratory I worked at was here in Southern California,
Uh-huh.
and we were our mission was to develop technological applications of Nassim's unified physics model.
Okay.
So UFO technologies,
All right.
fusion propulsion, gravity control is what we were building on a daily basis. So that was very exciting, and this artifact project was sort of our
Side project?
yeah, it wasn't. It was off the books. It wasn't what we were funded to do, but it was
Oh.
something that was so incredible and had a lot of momentum behind it through Nassim at the time that I became involved, and later, in more recent years, have taken the research in my own direction to really.
Oh, so you were trained to do something else?
Sure. Trained in many different ways. Our laboratory had prototyping and research and development for technological applications, as well as biophysics experiments and astrophysics research. So in our laboratory, we had a very interdisciplinary group of people. So that was a very formative time for me, and during that time, I became exposed to this collection and sort of fell in love with them. I think it's easy to pass judgment on them from photos or videos, but when you really spend time with them and see the intricacies and see what makes them so special, it simply is what it is. They're not plastic, they're not modern, they're ancient relics, and the ET thing is what takes it into the unbelievable side.
Suppose there were Mexican crooks who tricked you into believing that these were real.
Sure.
How do you know it's not that?
You know, that topic has sort of been there since the very beginning, and it's fair to say that there are many fakes, and there
There are.
is a market for that. Of course
Oh.
there is.
Okay.
We know that there's fakes. Part of the burden there is to weed out what's fake versus what's real, because
Okay.
what's real is impossibly real
Uh-huh.
by many standards.
All right.
So, you know, the idea of a fake market and the black market exists in ancient art around the world,
Okay.
in all collections,
Okay.
from oil paintings to all, you know, especially Mesoamerican antiquities. So some of the institutionalized museums have been found that 30% of their collection are modern forgeries that they put on display. So even they are getting
Okay.
fooled.
So how do you tell the difference?
So that's actually where my research has sort of made that distinction more clear,
Okay.
is because generally speaking, it's considered that these artifacts are carved rocks,
Okay. Okay.
carved stone.
All right.
They are simply not that.
Mhm.
They are a material of an engineered composition,
Mhm.
similar to ceramic.
Mhm.
This engineered composition, the technical term would be a geopolymer. If
Okay.
you may have heard of this term. Part of what sort of gave me this path into this direction of material composition research. You know, I'm not talking about the aliens yet.
All right. All right.
Talking about the nitty gritty, what they're made of. Are they old? Is the real question, right?
Mhm.
So, because they're an engineered material of a geopolymer type, this is chemically formulated. The body of evidence, the body of research that opened my eyes to this possibility is the research of Joseph Davidovich, the founder of geopolymer science. So, the idea of a geopolymer is a man-made stone.
Mhm.
And he, over the last 4 decades, has done a lot of research in Egypt and most recently in Peru and Bolivia. This man is incredibly sharp, published in Nature, I mean, top tier scientists, and his theory or his application is that these monuments around the world, the pyramids of Giza, the megalithic structures of Peru, they're a cast stone, a manufactured stone, a man-made stone, not naturally occurring and quarried and lifted and transported and the chiseling, and none of that makes sense, right? So people go to aliens, right? I'm sort of threading the needle here in the regard that his research shows that ancient humans absolutely could have created this form of ancient concrete or a cast stone. So he kind of gets away from the aliens thing in that regard, whereas this kind of brings the aliens right back front and center with that geopolymer topic. So part of my research, not only in this department of the artifacts, my second publication, which I do believe I shared with you, is based on my research in Peru. So
Okay.
the megalithic architecture of Peru, specifically in Cusco.
Do you want to show pictures?
Sure. Here's an image of some of the...
Can you grab it? It's in my pocket.
Oh,
Okay, you continue.
sure. Okay. Well, here's some of the... let's see. Yes. So this wall in central Cusco, you can see that the forms of the blocks are very bulbous. They're very marshmallow-like. They even have trowel marks, or they've been worked. So on this topic of artificial stone or manufactured stone, these morphologies, these shapes, are incredibly difficult to achieve through percussive carving, through mechanical techniques, because the geometries and their fitment is incredibly complex. So therefore, the idea of a cast stone or artificial stone cast in situ, in place, no molding, no formwork, this certainly fits the bill. It certainly, their morphologies, their marshmallow-like shape is just simply inherent to the process of a cast stone. Beyond their physical features, there are other features that I've measured and reported in my publication that has to do with chemical enrichment of these blocks. They are chemically distinct from their natural quarries. They've been enriched in certain elemental groups that are indicative of geopolymer manufacture. This image here is myself at that wall in central Cusco using my UV light. So this effect is very unique and very strange. To summarize what you've missed, I was just mentioning how the megalithic architecture of Cusco, like this wall here, the physical characteristics of these blocks are very bulbous. They're very marshmallow-like. That morphology is indicative of a cast material, much more than a carved material. Percussive carving is simply inadequate to achieve these complexities and these geometries.
Yeah. The shape is as if they somehow poured it in. But,
Certainly.
But on the other hand, why is it then? Why does it? Like when you pour cement, you have to put like wooden
Right.
outside.
Formwork.
Yeah, and then it becomes flat. And here it is like, what do you put outside? We don't really know, right?
So our current working hypothesis, it's based on the rheology of the material.
What?
The rheology.
What's rheology?
Rheology has to do with the physical characteristics of the product during its casting and
Okay.
the chemical process that's happening.
Sure. So that's what you're working on.
Yes.
You're rheologists.
It's sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
I wear many hats, but what I'm saying, you brought up modern concrete, and people bring this up a lot in that context. It is chemically distinct from modern concrete.
Right.
Modern concrete is a hydrate, meaning you add water, a certain amount of water, to achieve the cementation.
Sure.
Whereas the geopolymer formulation actually it exudes water during the process of hardening. Water is introduced to the system, and during its curing and final setting, water is exuded. So the this the workability of the material is like dense clay,
All right.
meaning it's not sloppy, it's not falling over. It can actually hold
Oh,
shape.
but how do they fit to each
So
other?
the current working idea that I'm using and that Joseph Davidovich proposed many decades ago are fabric formwork, modular formworks,
What do you mean fabric?
textiles, llamas. In to give you an idea of Peru and that area, it's such a naturally abundant, resource-rich area, and these ancient people were harvesting and manipulating these local ingredients on an industrial scale. So the the characteristic of the material, it's very workable, and it can even have a very fast setting time, up to as little as 20 minutes. It can be engineered for that. So when you see some of these blocks having depression, you can see that they informed each other.
Yeah.
There's a gravitational slumping. There's some.
They kind of pushed to each other, but then the wall altogether is flat, so it doesn't make any sense. I don't think we have the answer. It's a mystery. You can't really explain that. A fabric holding the wall doesn't
No,
make
no,
any sense.
no.
How would people? I mean, even if it is soft and squishy, how would you lift such a heavy thing? It's impossible.
Lift what?
How do you put it there?
In buckets.
Oh, but then you
It's
have to have a shape outside. How does it cast, right? A cast outside.
and that's where the fabric.
Well, how would fabric hold that amount of? It's pretty heavy. Fabric wouldn't hold it.
It certainly would. The scale and the industrial application of their textiles in antiquity in Peru for sales, for agriculture, and again, based on the rheology, the set time of the material, it can be cast in place and move on to the next block and move on to the next block. So it's a modular system. But this is the framework in which gave me the understanding to apply towards the artifacts. Earlier,
So the thing on the screen, like that brick on the top, how would you hold it with the fabric? It's like a couple tones or something?
when cured, yes.
Oh, you're saying they put it outside and then lift it?
So there's a civil engineering aspect to the construction here. So, in terms of this doorway lintel, it's possible that a feature was there to support the weight in the middle. But we don't know until we get out there and start mixing and start casting ourselves. I've been working with some scientists and some university professors to develop recipes based on this stuff. During my time in Peru, I was able to get samples of some of this masonry and study it at a local laboratory. The metrics, the physical characteristics of these samples align precisely with geopolymer metrics and characteristics in modern science. It's very interesting how this sample from an ancient temple can align with modern material science research and development. So, yes, the geopolymer world of information has allowed me to put a new lens on these artifacts that have been traditionally considered to be rocks,
Okay. Yeah,
carved
so these are
rocks.
polymers.
They're an engine. The collection of artifacts. They're so diverse. Even in one particular artifact, you have several different types of materials present that are each manufactured. These are some of those collections in Mexico. Many, many hundreds, if not thousands, of artifacts.
Okay. So still on that authenticity. So one
Right.
thing to show that it's authentic is when you found it in the ground first time excavated. So it's like really not manufactured recently.
Correct.
Second thing is carbon dating. Third thing is the polymer which is not present in current technology.
Correct. So on the topic of radiocarbon dating, here's a report from preliminary research we did in 2019. You can see those calculated age dates of around 8,500 years.
How does it work? How does carbon dating work?
It's a process of measuring the ratio of carbon 14 and carbon 13 within the sample. So the sample is, you can see the lab protocol here on the report. But
So it's very precise, like plus minus 30, it's like super precise, right?
absolutely.
So it is not, certainly not before 8,000 years. No, not after, not less than 8,000 years old.
That's what the data has been showing.
All right. If you see a fake and a real one, can you tell it by looking at it, or do you have to do carbon dating every time?
For those who have been collecting and know the collection intimately, it's very, very easy to spot. For anybody else, if I were to put a table full of half fakes, half real, it's anybody's guess because these are so anomalous. They're so strange. They don't get the time of day to be researched and seriously.
If you flash a light, would only the real one retain the light?
Exactly.
Oh, show that video.
Okay.
That's another test.
This ties in with what I was talking about earlier with the Peruvian walls glowing with the UV light. This artifact.
Yeah, I saw that for real. We had to find a dark space in the exhibition and the
Right.
fair, but
This effect is called phosphorescence, and my research has demonstrated that this effect is due to their microstructural composition. This is an SEM photo,
ACM atomic
scanning electron microscope.
scanning. Okay.
So this artifact in particular is here with us today.
All right.
And this artifact is featured in my report.
Go ahead.
And as recently as early this year, we were in the laboratory. This is a material sample from the artifact that Max is holding.
What do you mean material sample?
It's a chip fragment.
Oh yeah,
It's a
that
chip.
is a hole here.
Yes, that's a chip fragment sample, the image that's being shown. Now, particularly, the viewers might not be able to tell from the sample image, absolutely, the artifact that Max is holding is a glazed product, or it has an enamel. It has a surface gloss. It has a color. It has variegation. It has spots. Now, many years ago, with some of the researchers I was originally involved with, we used to argue over this point. I would say, what kind of rock is this? The color is turquoise, blue, green. It's very unique. And I would show them that this green, blue, turquoise surface enamel has a thickness. And they would say, oh, well, these ancient people, they just found a really good rock and they happened to carve right through a vein. Nothing could be further from the truth. This idea that they're carved rocks is simply a misnomer. This image I'm sharing demonstrates the enamel glaze and the red substrate, the red ceramic interior composition. So these are optical microscopy images. Let's see, Control Plus, right?
Yeah. Does it work?
You can see how We can zoom out a tiny bit. You can see all those the light refraction in the image. It's incredibly vitreous.
What's vitreous?
The composition is high in silica.
Okay.
So again, in the concept of carved rocks, they say, oh, well, they're so polished, they're so clean. That's us applying modern thinking and modern tooling to ancient relics. They are simply born that way. Their high gloss, their high polished surface is part of their firing sequence. It's not a mechanical buffing or polishing. There's no evidence to show tooling marks of that nature. So, yes, that's the internal composition of that blue-green artifact we were showing.
What did I do? Oh. Okay.
This image is simply an SEM image, an electron microscope image.
Mhm.
Now, we may need to zoom in on this just a tiny
Sure.
bit. This is an EDS elemental composition mapping. So when I'm looking at the chip sample and the SEM, not only can I take images of the architecture, but I can extrapolate what elements are there in what proportions and in what morphologies. Because my idea here is that it's a manufactured product, a man-made stone. Therefore, it will have certain indicative characteristics of a manufactured composition versus natural composition. One of those key elements is the presence of organic chemistry within the artifacts, which is inherently absent in natural geologically formed stone.
Let's translate to
Layman?
not layman, but to general audience.
These artifacts have organic chemistry inside. They are a composite. It's impossible for that organic chemistry to be present in natural stone.
So in natural stone, basically, it was formed by heating, and all organics would get destroyed,
incinerated. The pressures, the heat, the environment.
burnt.
Right.
And you get unburnt organics there.
Absolutely.
Meaning that you mix something non-organic and inorganic and organic and polymerize, and organic stays there.
Perfectly said. And this process occurs at a low temperature, meaning traditional ceramics are fired at least 500 degrees Celsius.
Right.
These are fired at around 200 degrees Celsius, around 300 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. They're basically, you can bake them like cookies.
How do you know?
Because of the preservation of carbon.
What if it was cold polymerization?
Sorry?
What if it was cold polymerization, room temperature?
This is also extremely, this is absolutely possible.
So you said 200, but it could be normal temperature.
Could be ambient.
Ambient, yeah. So we don't know.
Well, the evidence suggests that this is the case. This mapping here, you can see oxygen, silicon, iron, aluminum, and sodium are equally distributed. You can see this orange, yellow shape in the center. This is where the organic chemistry or the carbon is embedded within the structure. This is that same image simply exploded. So yes, that carbon signature there, it's like gum, it's like tar, it's like resin. I have some SEM images of it stuck inside, and it looks like gum on the bottom of your shoe.
So why would ancient people or aliens insert organics there? We don't have any idea, right?
It's simply part of their chemical formulation.
Why?
Because of their unique composition to do this polymerization event.
What's the purpose?
To regulate pH within the environment. So
it's like ayahuasca. You just have to mix lots of things to get it right.
Exactly. In the right proportions, in the right timing. First you brew this, then you add this. Things of that nature.
It's not super technological.
You know, Yes and no. The idea of a lost ancient high technology is very popular in the modern era, and I would say geopolymer technologies certainly are a good candidate for this lost ancient high technology. You know, my former colleagues and some of my researcher friends and collaborators, they really appreciate my work and they see it as very valuable, but they lean towards that ancient aliens or ancient high-tech civilizations used high technology plasma lasers, gravity beams. It gets into sci-fi pretty quick, which
Right, right.
I've entertained for years and I think is very possible. But in terms of, we're stacking speculation on top of speculation on top of speculation. In terms of first principles, the megalithic architecture of the world has an engineered composition just like these do.
Uh-huh.
So, by that measure, I do believe that geopolymer technologies are a very fitting candidate for this topic. And, in our modern era, this technology is very applicable in industries across the planet. It's a green technology. Our modern Portland cement is very toxic. It's very dirty.
Okay.
So there are many applications that we can use in the modern era, but this is the framework that I've used to characterize these materials as ancient relics of antiquity.
Right. You don't have to prove to my audience and to me that aliens were there and that they had super high technologies. When I said it's not high technology, I meant it's not industrial in our modern sense. It's not a factory with clean surfaces and no organics and everything regimented. It's more like kitchen of alchemists
Yeah, I
where
think
every alchemist has his own recipe and every brew of our ayahuasca is different. Every soup is different. So
I think that's very accurate, and part of that is the artistic component to these pieces.
right.
They are handmade. Someone had something to share. Someone had a cultural heritage that they wanted to impart to others. It's just like the Babylonians or the Sumerians. These clay tablets, amongst many other cultures. Our modern culture is very plastic, very digital. There won't be much left. Whereas ancient people certainly built things to last.
But they didn't put the organics just for you to do carbon dating.
Well, I don't think so, but it's possible.
I mean, it's really hard to prove the age except carbon dating. Why is the ratio between two isotopes of C is different? I I think some comes from the underground and some stays in the.
So carbon, in my understanding, the carbon-14 isotope is formed in the atmosphere and is ingested into biological
Oh,
organisms.
from radiation from the
Right.
space.
Right.
In atmosphere, it is charged with extra radioactivity, and then it gets into living
Our
tissue.
tissues.
Yes.
So whether you're a bug or a human or a horse or even certain sea creatures
Right.
do possess this isotope. This isotope has a measurable half-life. That's the basis
Yeah,
of.
and then we have calibration curve calibrated by other things, and
Correct.
by that curve we see that. Does it go up or down? I forgot the rare isotope.
I believe it goes down.
Okay.
Another aspect of that type of measurement is the measurement of the nitrogen isotopes.
Oh, there is more.
Yeah, within the sample, they can measure the ratio of nitrogen to the sample and find if it's a terrestrial or marine based sample. So
Also in organics.
yes,
Uh-huh.
purely you can really only carbon date organics, and this is
Nitrogen date.
right. That's one of the other impossibilities of these stones, is because if they were geologically formed rocks, it would be impossible to carbon date because there'd be no carbon.
Right.
Another type of dating testing that has been done on these artifacts is called thermoluminescence,
Okay.
which is based on firing temperature.
What do you mean firing?
It's standard use. It's a standard measurement for ceramics, ancient ceramics in antiquity. So when you fire a material,
I mean melted.
yes,
It's a melting temperature.
yeah, when the material was vitrified and under high temperature
I
conditions.
mean, it was in the past, but now you just have to melt it and see melting temperature?
Yeah, the modern thermoluminescence takes a very small material sample of the art, whatever you're studying, and subjects that sample to a sequential temperature gradient,
Right, right.
and the sample is observed and measured, and emits light at
Okay, okay.
certain temperatures, which is
Yeah.
indicative of the last time it
Oh,
was fired. So I'm saying that this type of measurement has
got it.
also been done on these artifacts and shown ages of 3 to 5,000 years old.
Wait. Firing means you find the temp.
Firing,
What's firing?
putting things in the kiln,
All right.
ceramic firing,
All
the
right.
final process of
Firing.
firing.
But what would be the temperature at which it was formed?
So, in traditional ceramics firing, the temperature is very high,
Yeah, yeah.
500 C or
Yeah, yeah.
more. So,
And for these ones?
my research has shown that they're anywhere from ambient to ultra low temperatures, which is around 200 C. Other researchers have performed dozens of thermoluminescence testing on them and got many. I've done it as well on certain pieces and got dates of antiquity. So this is one other way that they've been measured to be very old. In the near future, we will be pursuing another type of dating process called uranium series dating, which is another isotopic ratio.
Uranium what?
Uranium series dating,
Why serious?
because I believe it has to do with the progeny series of uranium 238 and how
Okay.
it
Oh,
decays.
okay.
Actually, on this topic, it's a bit technical, but in my report on the artifacts and the megalithic monuments, I've done gamma spectroscopy on the samples to analyze and characterize their isotopic signatures.
Okay.
These isotopes present within these artifacts, as well as the megalithic monuments, show what's called secular disequilibrium, or there's a break in the chain of the progenies from uranium.
Okay.
Uranium decays, I believe it's radon.
Okay.
It has a series of
Okay.
daughters,
All right.
and it's measurable within these artifacts and the megalithic monuments that this decay series has been broken.
What does it mean?
It means that they've been chemically fractionated. It means that they've been chemically processed because the isotopes, specifically of the daughters of uranium, are gaseous, and
Okay.
and they can escape during this
Okay.
process. So you have an imbalance, a measurable imbalance within the isotopic spectrum in these pieces to show that they've been processed. They've been chemically engineered. Another interesting.
But wait. You jumped. So, in normal rock, uranium gradually decays, and you can see a series of daughters.
Yes.
And if you chemically do something to what, and why is it?
Well, consider this: these artifacts, like the megalithic monuments, they're made of natural ingredients,
Okay.
stone ingredients,
Okay.
the same materials that stone are made from. So, some of the key ingredients that are used are clays,
Okay.
as well as volcanic ash and tuff. So within the volcanic ash that's used to make these products, the uranium isotope is present during the chemical environment in which the polymerization occurs. That uranium becomes mobilized and fractionated.
Okay. Two. I. So explain. There are two possible explanations. One is complete mystery. You cannot reproduce it ever. Or second is
You mean
that
the artifacts? Or?
no, that uranium disbalance. And the second is that if you just take two pieces of, say, rock and another rock from different ages and mix together later, then you get that disbalance. So one is completely like supernatural, and second is just the signature of mixing things together, like old and new.
I think I'm following you, but even if we were to go down that path of mixing an old rock and a new rock or two different rocks, it's a man-made product
Right, right,
that
right.
has a timestamp. And by the way, if they were to be doing that with modern petrochemicals or products of that nature, we've been looking for that for many years. So the genuine artifacts that come from private collectors and are held, um, outside of public view, these are the ones we're studying. So in terms of the radiometric or isotopic characteristics of the materials, they're very anomalous. They do not align with natural or predictable characteristics of rocks or stone, which people believe
Okay,
that these
let's
are.
give it a name. How do you call this type of artifacts?
The Aztlan
Okay,
artifacts.
Aztlan artifacts. You, the how do you call this anomaly with uranium?
Disequilibrium.
Disequilibrium of what?
Secular disequilibrium.
Secular disequilibrium in Aztlan artifacts. Does it show that it's man-made or does it show that it's extraterrestrial made? Can you reproduce the same disequilibrium just by mixing things?
I would say that the evidence supports that they are an anthropogenic material. Whether an ET's hands made them or a human hand made them, I don't really know.
Can you reproduce with modern technology? Can you reproduce this disequilibrium? How
No.
frequent? Oh,
Meaning, um, this process of disequilibrium occurs after the polymerization event. Meaning, we talked about the dating techniques, and the uranium series dating is a way to measure the photopeak counts within the gamma spectroscopy to show that the material has undergone a chemical process. So you can, similar to the carbon-14 dating, you have a measurable or predictable value that's measured against with the uranium-238 series. So this process is another way that we're considering to date the age of the material, because in the most basic sense, if these are modern day materials, as you said, they're trinkets. It doesn't really matter. They're just sort of, novelties. If they're ancient materials, it's paradigm shifting and very impactful. So I do believe that they are ancient. Many other researchers do as well.
wait. You jumped. My question was, so the ancient because of carbon dating for sure.
Yeah.
Now, the secular disequilibrium of uranium isotopes, is it observed in other artifacts, or is it only in
This collection.
geopolymers, ancient megaliths?
Well, you do have to realize that this research we're talking about and we're sharing with the audience is absolutely cutting edge. There are no other archaeologists or antiquities researchers who are applying isotopic. Actually, there's one. He's actually a Russian. His name is Dr. Max Fomichev.
Fomichev, okay.
He studied the Egyptian vase. Are you familiar with his work?
No.
Right. So his work showed that this vase collection that's gathered a lot of attention, they are also weakly radioactive. He attributes this to a nuclear tooltip. He thinks that these Egyptian vases were carved with a nuclear high technology tooltip, which is why the material has absorbed this artificial radiation. My take is more that it's a chemically manufactured product, and this is why it is enriched in the isotopes.
But why do people do this secular disequilibrium measurement? Probably there are
Applications.
other materials, modern materials.
It's a standard use of measurement in geology to measure the age of materials.
Oh, so in principle, it is known that this disequilibrium happens, right?
Yeah.
But how this disequilibrium is different in this collection is Aztlan.
It's measurably fractionated, meaning you have a predictable relationship you would see in natural geological materials. When you compare that to these, they just do not align.
Would you just get it if it was a polymer mixed from multiple geological substances, or it's more complex than that?
No, I think that's exactly what it is.
Oh, so it's not it's not impossible to reproduce. It just we don't know how, but it just shows that they took different age geological substances and
Well, in my research report, in my paper on the
all right,
artifacts, I talk about the metallurgy
all right.
and many of the materials present. So, you're bringing up the point, can you do it in the modern day? In theory, with enough money and time, I'm sure you could. To what end, to what degree, to sell it for $100, as you mentioned, is nonsensical. Now, the gold and some of the metal alloys and inlays, their compositional analysis aligns precisely with historical alloys of this area. So again, for modern forgeries to be historically aligned, it's
No, I'm not saying about forgery. I'm just saying, is it possible with our technology to reproduce?
I think I'll say yes, but I don't know if that question strikes to the core of the matter. It's simply an inherent property of the material that is anomalous that I'm characterizing to demonstrate that these are simply not carved rocks.
So if you take normal ceramics, you wouldn't get any secular disequilibrium.
That's right.
Yeah. Or you wouldn't get any carbon dating because there is no carbon.
Right.
What if you mix carbon into ceramics? It would evaporate?
Yes,
It would
because
just burn, right?
right, because of the temperatures involved.
Convert to CO2 and fly away. And
Yep.
it'll bubble.
Simple as that. I have a few more photos we'll share on that.
I want to jump to the forward thing. I just wanted to finalize the I'm grabbing.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I want to finalize the real versus fake
Sure.
question and then go to actually what does it contain, because these are two different questions.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, we've touched upon some of the carbon dating. I'm quickly going to jump to this image. You can see in the center of this image this black resinous mass.
Black what?
Black
Resin. It's like
resinous.
resin. Okay.
Yeah, like that is the.
Can you like scoop it?
Yes, if you look at the scale bar on this image, this is an incredibly tiny,
How small is it? I can see.
maybe 6 microns in diameter.
Size of the cell nucleus,
Right.
biological cell nucleus. It's still scoopable, but really hard to
Right.
gather.
So this,
You need special technology for that.
right, and this is possible. This is another image of. I don't know if you can see the scale bar here. We're at
600 nanometers.
Nanometers.
Okay,
So
what
we're-
is it?
We're now at the nanoscale, looking at the nanoscale components of the material.
Okay. And this one is
If you see the
550 nanometers?
yes, so you can see that the carbon distribution here is it goes outside of the measurement, the nanoscale measurement. The UV effect, the glowing effect,
Okay.
I posit is an effect due to the presence of carbon quantum dots, which are very fine scale.
Yeah, quantum dots is familiar.
So it's very fine scale carbon distribution that's present within the microstructure.
Mhm.
This is my current understanding of why they glow in the way that they do. Their glow is also dependent on the wavelength of excitation present.
Is it described that certain quantum dots hold the light for a few seconds?
Yes.
It's like 30 seconds, is it?
Yes, specifically carbon quantum dots.
Uh-huh.
This image, this artifact we looked at earlier, you can see on the cheek of this being, you see these glyphs.
Well, let me point to them. Okay, I go there. Here?
Yeah, so those
These
glyphs,
Okay.
right? So
So what do you want to show?
the next image here.
Okay. Go to the right, bottom, here.
So this glyph here, some of the research that I've been doing involves high resolution surface topography mapping. So that glyph that you're looking at, you can hardly feel with your hand. As we said, is about 30 microns in depth, which is incredibly fine freehand tooling. Now, more specifically, this glyph, you see a ridge line. Do you see the red area that
Yeah, yeah,
comes
yeah.
up above? This is due to material displacement that occurred, meaning that the surface of this artifact was engraved upon or carved upon when it was wet.
Wet or molten or
Or
plasticky?
sure, plastic.
Elastic,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's like moving your finger through wet clay.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
simply displaces the material,
Like butter.
yeah, up onto the ridge line. So, you know, this is me doing some of the 3D scanning. I think we have a
So wait. So can you go back to that?
the
So the butter one. So somebody like use some special. So it's impossible to do by hand.
no, it's absolutely done by hand, and to that point, the dexterity required to achieve this is just at the limit of human dexterity. Some of them,
Okay.
meaning people again think that they're carved rocks by Mexicans in garages with Dremel tools.
Right, right,
Percussive carving and Dremel rotary drill bits.
right,
They
right.
simply do not behave in
So the
this way,
fakes would have different pattern.
and they do.
And you're saying it was done when it was elastic, but
Soft, right?
or moldable.
Right.
But would if you do it now, it would leave a different trace.
Correct. Because it will be fracturing the already set material. Are you familiar with ancient Egyptian faience? Faience is a unique collection of ceramic materials. You know
No,
the idea of Egyptian blue. It's like a turquoise color.
no.
This is a very famous body of work from ancient Egyptians that's been studied for many decades and was recently recognized to be a self-glazing ceramic, which is very interesting. Meaning,
It's the same composition, but
well, the composition is somewhat similar to these artifacts, but the 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 engineering behind what the ancient Egyptians were doing for this type of ceramic is very unique. And I only bring it up because it's a process where they don't harvest clay. They engineer their own clay, start
okay,
from scratch.
okay.
And this process, they mix, they mold their shape, they let that dry in ambient temperatures.
Right.
During that process, an event called efflorescence occurs, where migration of
Yeah.
elements comes to the surface. So then, once the product is fired, it has this.
Okay.
There's no applied glaze. It was born that way.
Okay.
It's from the beginning. But once it's molded, they do their fine detail work, the eyes, the lips, with stylus tools. So this is somewhat similar to what.
But is it also soft or it would be hard, right? So it would be scratching rather than displacing.
The ceramic product, I'm talking about the Egyptian faience,
Yeah.
is semi-cured. It's still workable, still somewhat soft before the final firing.
Oh, it's like intermediate stage.
Yeah, it's a multi-stage process.
Wow. So while we're here, how much you have to damage the artifact to actually date it, like carbon date it?
Traditionally, we've been doing it with adhesive material. So, obviously I'm aiming for the least amount of damage possible. But my most recent work here in the image, remember how we talked about the organic chemistry inside of the artifact? This is a core drill sample. You can see the material that's been extracted from inside of the piece. So
you drill inside. How thick is the drill bit?
1/32. I'm aiming to go as small as possible because I prefer not
Like
to.
half a millimeter?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So other collectors who have much more money and have much more pieces, they'll happily break a piece, crack it open.
I mean, it's just, how do you say, bad. I don't know the right word.
Um,
Sacrilege.
yeah, they break, unfortunately. So it's you can be opportunistic, and once something is broken, take advantage of it. But for this research purpose, I'm trying to do as least damage as possible. There's the small drill hole where I'm extracting material. Now, this report, which may need some zooming in,
Yeah.
you can see the date on this report. Anyways,
What do you want?
it's from February of this year, just to show that it's very recent.
Okay.
It's the most recent work in this regard.
All right.
So originally we showed a report
Yeah.
from 2019,
All right. Right.
many years ago.
So
and,
you reproduced it.
well, the report from 2019 is based on the adhesive components, right?
All right.
So, like, for example, this mosaic,
All right.
it has a lot of.
Do you have the one with the drill hole?
I didn't bring that one
Okay.
today.
All right. So that's it. So
There's a lot of glue.
how hard they are? If I drop it, would they break it?
Some do break, some
Yuck.
are very, very strong, but you can see.
It's actually glued from multiple
Right.
layers.
There's plenty of glue there. So, traditionally that's the glue that we're sampling over many different artifacts. Right. Every one of those tiles is glued together and it's glued
So the
onto
tiles
this
are glued on top.
surface. So that's what we've measured for many years and gave us some preliminary evidence to show that they could be ancient. Now, what I'm showing here in the most recent report is not the glue, right? It's the core drill sample.
How hard is to drill it? How hard it is?
I broke 2 drill bits.
Because it gets stuck, or because it was bent?
One stuck and one bent.
All right. So, how fast do you drill? Like, if it go, does it go?
No. Well, again, the collection is so diverse.
All
So
right.
some of my pieces, not so hard. I had one piece that a collector contracted me to do some research on. We did some carbon dating. That was the one that broke both my drill bits. It's like
Okay.
some of them are softer, some of them are harder.
All right.
But anyways, this report here demonstrates affirmative evidence of their antiquity.
Yeah.
Specifically, the value on the bottom, 8,570,
Yeah.
is very interesting because it actually falls in line. So to give greater context, these 2 samples here have already been previously dated, right? So I'm double dating them.
Double dates.
Yeah. So this 8,570 value, it comes from this artifact.
You want to show another one?
Yes.
Go ahead. Click on it. Yep.
So this artifact.
Oh yeah, that's the one you have a Bashar pic
You're right.
and with that on picture.
This is one of the
Yeah,
first.
show Bashar with it.
Sure.
Dari Lanka.
Right. This is 2018. Daryl, Scott, and myself. So this artifact is very unique. They're all unique. They're all strange, but
Look at the eyes. It's the one where the eyes are actually almond shaped,
right.
rounded, not almond shaped, sharp ended.
Right. The complexities in this one piece is so amazing. The lips, the inlaid eyes. Someone put a lot of effort into this.
Wait, and the head, the skull is
Right.
elongated
Elongated.
and with a sharp end.
Right.
Weird.
So back to that idea of the carbon dating report. This artifact, the value of 8,570 aligns with the previous value within the margin of error on the analytical equipment. So for me, this was a reason to.
So say again. So the 2 numbers from 2 datings are in agreement.
Within the margin of error of the analytical equipment, meaning the date from the internal core
What
sample.
percent of, like, 10 years, 20 years?
Right, 20 years.
20 years.
Right.
So
that made me jump for joy
all
because
right.
it was like,
That's what I wanted to ask.
it's like,
Reproducible, essentially.
yes, and this research is very new. It's happening. this year, and since I've demonstrated some of this stuff and talked to some other researchers, there are many others who are pursuing this avenue, and we're of course exploring other options. But the carbon dating is very significant, especially in the context of it being highly accurate within the margin of error of the analytical equipment.
How much material do you need?
60 milligrams.
Which is about 2 drops of water.
It's tiny. I mean, ideally 100 milligrams is best, but remember that the organic carbon is very trace within.
Yeah, exactly. What percentage is there?
Based on the sample group that I've looked at, it's about 15%. So it's actually.
Does the glue material have more carbon than the ceramics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we can keep enjoying some of this topic. I'll quickly just share these images that I showed earlier. These platelets, these crystalline platelets you see on the left side of the image.
Oh, how 5 microns? So it's smaller than a human cell, like 1/3 of a human cell size thickness.
Right. So we are.
No. Thickness is much smaller. It's 1 micron. Okay.
So these platelets, right?
Yeah.
These book-like stacking platelets. If you see the scale bar there, we're at 1 micron. So all of the architecture beneath that scale is nanoscale.
All right.
These structures are indicative of the inorganic materials used, specifically kaolin clay. Kaolin clay is exactly the type of clay that was used to create some of these products, these artifacts. So, yeah, some of the SEM imaging.
Electron scanning microscopy.
Right. So we're capturing the internal architecture of the samples. And what's circled here in this image.
Who is paying for that?
Me.
So
and
you
some
earn
friends.
money somewhere else, and then you just invested in the research?
Well, I went broke doing all this.
Right. But carbon dating should be cheaper than electron microscopy.
Exactly.
How much is carbon dating?
About $5.50 a sample.
Dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, reasonable.
Very reasonable. Well, it adds up.
And there are like hundreds of labs that do that?
No.
How many?
One.
One?
One that I know and work with. It's very difficult for people who are not in academic
from outside.
Right. If you know, and especially in the context of antiquities.
Right.
And this topic, most people are like,
don't touch it.
Don't touch it. And I'm very grateful that Dr. Alexander Cherkinsky of the University of Georgia I've formed a relationship with over many years, and he's been very kind and very open to, we're simply measuring what's there. So
okay.
I'm grateful for him, and there are in Europe there are some others, but
maybe it's cheaper to send to China.
Yeah.
As we are on that topic, we discussed, you and I, sequencing DNA sequence of the to make. We didn't do that, but if you get a mummy or a skull,
right.
would pretty much the same amount of material. 3 water drops would be sufficient to do the sequencing.
Yes.
Like 3 apple seeds or something like that.
When I was in Peru, I wanted to try and get something and bring it back. It didn't work out, but I think when the right time comes, I think something will line up. I'd be happy to work with you.
I don't want to destroy the mummy, but a small amount, I think, for good cause, I think is great.
Yes.
And I found several labs that do it for reasonable price. No, not cheap, but within thousands of dollars.
Great.
Yeah.
So do you want to keep digging into this, or do you have any other?
Let's just summarize, unless you want. Let's do more of actual imagery.
Sure.
Summarize the conclusions. So the conclusions are that carbon dating is dating it very reliably and reproducibly.
Right.
You saw actually how they take it from the ground?
Yep.
Describe that.
Well, the area of this part of Mexico is incredibly remote.
Okay.
It's incredibly arid.
What's arid?
It's a dry climate.
Okay.
The elevation is about 9,000 feet. It's high altitude desert, this
So it's
area.
even hard to work there. Can you drive there?
So this area in Mexico is genuinely one of the most desolate places you would
Okay.
ever find yourself. Not
Okay.
only that, because of this nature, it's a huge cartel trafficking zone, which is unfortunate. And
Cartel trafficking. What's cartel trafficking? It's like drugs?
yeah, all the bad shit,
Okay.
humans, drugs, gangs. So
Okay.
that has hindered this research very much so. We've planned many expeditions and canceled many because the political situation is just simply dangerous.
All right.
But yes, the air, for example, where you go dig them, you're in this, tiny town in Mexico, which adds to the idea of forgeries. Like, who the fuck is making all of these? And these people have nothing. So
Okay.
to make all of them and then go plant them, people we hiked 3 hours from our parking spot to go dig.
Oh,
We
okay.
walked 3 hours before we even started to dig.
So can you drive through that?
No, you're
Okay.
way out there. So some people hike for 2-3 days and camp and live and stay on the mountaintop to
Okay.
go searching. I don't have many.
There are snakes.
Yes, there are snakes. I don't have many images or videos.
That's okay. Just describe.
but,
So you came there and.
So this mountaintop you see here, you see the ridge line.
All right.
When you approach some of these ridge lines, you see this cave entrance.
All right.
This
All right.
doorway. About 75 feet, 80 feet down is where some of the digging is happening. There are many cave systems in this
And you
area.
found an artifact which has similar properties?
Yes. So remember that these have been being dug up since the late 50s.
How do they protect it? So do you have like covered with dirt and so people wouldn't find it?
What do you mean?
If you found something, then you have to protect that area from others finding it.
This simply just falls in the grays area. The gray area, kind of funny play on words, but it's just they're not officially recognized by the Institute of Anthropology
So
and
you
History.
hope that others wouldn't find that cave.
Well, there are many, again, many of the biggest collectors are generational families of this area who've been farming and tilling land and finding pieces since they were children.
Okay.
So many of these collections are held privately in family lineages, and not many people know where to go, how to get there, and what to do. So,
Right.
Ongoing investigation is needed, and we hope to get research and funding to pursue that. But in terms of provenance, where they came from and how they came out of the ground, it's important, it's significant, but it's not conclusive.
So
I personally believe that the first principles ideas on the artifacts themselves is more conclusive, because people just simply poke holes in, oh, well, they planted that or what have you. And people poke holes in so many things. So until that day comes with proper archaeological investigation, it's hard to give something that just absolutely demands credibility. But
Okay.
most archaeologists, have careers and contracts and cannot touch. I mean, we speak to so many people privately who go, this stuff is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, that's a topic of how they say brainwashing and censorship in archaeology. It's known in Russia, and there are lots of rumors about, if they discover something that doesn't fit the party policy, then you're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, I think it's in many empires.
Parts of the world.
They create the artificial history, and they protect that legend, and they're afraid that legend would be challenged.
People say that about this North American continent too. Here in California and where we live, people say there's ancient history here that's just simply been.
Yeah, I've heard that special institutions were set up to censor the findings,
Right.
and one of them is Smithsonian.
Right, that goes pretty deep. So somehow these have slipped through the cracks.
Right, exactly.
And
It's
they're
grassroots archaeology.
Yes, absolutely. And a friend who I've connected you with, I don't know if you've had the chance to speak, is
No.
Oleg Elistratov. He's a
Yeah.
PhD from Russia.
Uh-huh.
He and his son, I think he'd actually be a great guest for you.
Okay.
He's been collecting and writing books since before I was involved, and
Uh-huh.
he can speak to some of this as well. In terms, he's been on 9 expeditions. He's 71, I believe.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So he's really going out there, and they find pieces, and he's done a ton of research. And
So if you were to sort between tons of fake and tons of, and maybe there are some real ones, what would be the easiest way? Like microscope and look at the soft carving?
that would certainly be one of the telltales. You know, let me just say that the image we're looking at now,
Uh-huh.
how many faces can you count?
All right, just a second. Let me zoom in. Zoom in. Okay. Okay. That looks like something.
Right.
Which I don't know if it is a face.
Yeah.
That looks like something else. Something else. 3, 4, 5. Why does it matter? 6, 7.
Because do you have 8 heads? It's symbolic. It's
Where is
artistic.
the eighth one? Maybe there is one. I don't know.
There's several more.
Okay.
Y-
Maybe this one. Yeah.
You,
Okay.
you know, you mentioned how could you tell a fake from a real?
Uh-huh.
First things first, the iconography and art. This is undeniably the stylistic signature of this collection. These
Uh-huh.
priests, these beings, these gestures.
Mhm.
Now, what we're looking at are not chicken scratches into the material. It's 3D sculpted. I don't know
What do you
if-
mean 3D sculpted?
I don't know if you have-
They kind of pushed.
Play with the light on this on that. The eyes, the lips, the nose, they are relief carved
Oh, so they are.
to create depth.
Okay. I don't buy it, but I
There's
hear
nothing
you.
to buy.
No, no. I look at it. I don't see the carving of the relief, but maybe no. The nope.
So-
nope. Nope. And this one, I don't see that.
I
But
think-
maybe in other ones.
No, I think you need more light. This is a simple question. Put
Hold
your
on,
finger.
hold on. I'll put my at least. Hold on. So okay, we are back. All right.
You know, if you run your finger over the eyes and the lips. Here, I can go to the images from the 3D scans, but the carvings are 3D relief carvings. They have depth. They have dimension.
Okay.
They're not just chicken scratches. So when
All
you
right.
talk about something that's real versus fake, the tooling is one of the first giveaways. The art is another giveaway.
Uh huh.
And the material composition. You know, another interesting aspect is when these artifacts are first come out of the ground and are collected, they really stink. They really reek for like months.
Smell?
Smell.
Why?
Well, it's because of the deposition or the carbonation occurring on the surface of these artifacts. It's known in antiquities collecting that when you have genuine pieces, they have this reek. This something
How do they smell?
they smell.
Let me smell one.
Well,
The closed one. The
because these
Can
have
you
been
the coffin? Because it's closed. Maybe I can open. it.
no, because these have been handled and been researched and measured. They may not smell like the smell I want to communicate here. The smell I'm communicating is this deep earth. So,
All right.
anyways, you know, there's a lot of really telltale signs in terms of the surface composition and the material that.
Wait. So it's more technologically expensive, but if you the cheapest way would be the microscope, right?
Sure.
And then you cannot smell them once they kind of evaporated. So there are chemical tests that are cheap. No, it would be.
Yeah, there are chemical tests. I think, you know, at an eye's glance, there's no.
Oh, you can actually see the difference.
for a trained eye, remember I've been doing this for 8 years and seen collections around the world. So for
All right.
someone like me, yes. For any other average person, if, as we talked about, if I mix a bunch of fakes with a bunch of reals, they all look like alien artifacts to you. You don't
We
have.
should have brought one fake and demonstrate, but okay.
Yeah. So, the short and sweet is that the fakes are really close to these. They kind of look like them. They're kind of shaped like them, but they just are not them. They don't have the fine detail, fine quality. And again,
Oh, by sound. They click different.
yes,
Interesting.
that's one of
Probably
the.
will be the cheapest way to analyze them by sound.
That's You're right, because the rocks, they make a thud, whereas these go ring 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 like crystal glass.
Can I have two of them so I can knock one slightly? Okay.
Yeah, rings like glass because they're made of a lot of glass. So
Is it true? Are they glass? I'm not sure.
their composition
How much
is
glass is there?
silica based.
Silica. Okay, so it is
When we say
similar to glass.
right,
Glass plus organic, polymerized glass. I mean, can you polymerize a glass? I don't think you can. Oh, you can actually. Silica polymerization, right?
it is the main ingredient in the polymerization. Silica and aluminum are the two that create the. When we talk about polymers, it's a
All right.
chain of molecules, right? The elements that form that chain are silica and aluminum.
It's like clay, right?
Yes, but it's engineered clay.
Yeah, engineer organic plus clay.
Yeah, we made our own clay. We didn't go extract clay and then fire it. We made our own clay. We mixed in certain chemicals and certain ratios to achieve certain effects, like the self-glazing effect that I talked about with this one. Again, the collection is so varied. There's so much to study. But in terms of the ET,
How many collections are there?
I know of about 6 private collections that total each above 500 pieces, some over 1,000 pieces.
6 by 500, so few thousand pieces.
Yeah. And this is one
And it's all Aztec. I forgot the name.
Aztlan.
Aztlan.
Aztlan
Aztlan.
the idea of Aztlan is the mythical birthplace of the Aztec people.
Oh,
It also has etymological connections to Atlantis.
oh,
Aztlan.
oh. So we're looking at Atlantean things.
Yeah, that's one way to frame it. Atlantean meaning antediluvian,
What's antediluvian?
before the flood, before
Ah.
the Younger Dryas impact event.
So this looks like Egyptian, right?
That's right. These artifacts feature Egyptian connections.
Are there like any recognizable Egyptian
Well,
hieroglyphs?
yes.
Glyphs?
I was gonna bring a piece today, and I didn't. That does have some Egyptian glyphs on
Okay.
it,
It's fine.
but
We have tons of others.
yeah, there's so much. Oh, there we go.
Oh, here we go.
So this is Anubis.
In Mexico.
Yes.
Surprise.
Well, there's
What's Anubis? Which one is that historically? I mean, in the
there's a lot
mythology.
of very interesting connections between Mexico and Egypt.
It's like a dog.
Yes.
Dog, human dog.
Human dog. He's the god of the underworld.
Right.
But my understanding is that the Egyptians and the Maya, or the Aztec, they inherited cultural values from a mother culture, a pre-existing mother culture, which we could identify to be Atlantis. Remember that the Egyptian King's List, if you're familiar with this idea, it goes back into prehistory. It says that certain kings ruled for thousands of years. They lived for thousands of years. So there's some evidence to show that, to tie it all together, the idea is that we were genetically engineered through interactions with groups like the Anunnaki. And this lore, this prehistoric Genesis story is likely told and retold through these cultural lenses from the Egyptians to the Maya. There are a lot of parallels with their cosmological frameworks, pyramid building. These cultures sort of emerged independently, yet they have so many striking similar characteristics. So, yes, many of the artifacts do have Egyptian.
I'll take a small break. You keep talking to the recording,
Sure.
and I'll be back.
Okay. Well, some other interesting correlations are in regard to the hieroglyphic language. This aspect of the collection certainly is understudied. There are some sort of foundational understandings that we have that we would like to pursue, but generally speaking, these hieroglyphs occur in abundance, especially within this specific collection. Something I want to also include is that this collection is one of many in Mexico and South America that are underreported and understudied. So more research is always warranted. This is the backside of that previous image. You do see this Egyptian style mummy with ET hybrids surrounding it. Now, in regard to this particular image, you do have a human figure with a spirit coming through. Many of these artistic depictions are very transcendental, interdimensional. There's an exchange of genetic information or spiritual connection. So specifically, these glyphs in this image are very much like the glyphs in this image, which come from the Olmec heartlands. This is called the La Mohara script, or the Laventa script. The Isthmian script. This is the oldest recorded written language in the Americas, found in the Olmec areas, and it has a lot of characteristics that are similar to this written glyph language. So this is an aspect that we will be pursuing. Yes, these relics are incredibly detailed. They are very complex. This is a UFO-shaped vessel with many inlays featured. The bottom side features this imagery. Now, there's a lot to take in here, but generally speaking, it does speak to an exchange of genetic and spiritual information.
All right, I'm back. Thank you.
Okay.
So spiritual and genetic, what is it?
Well, I was just talking about the glyph, some of the context here around the collection, the hieroglyphic language.
That looks like Egyptian, but
right. So
slightly.
Here's the other side of that image with Egyptian figures. So
Do
unfortunately,
you have an interpretation? On the right bottom, there is some
ET hybrid.
almadice.
Right.
On the left is also some sort of almadice, but more human type.
So within the collection, you see many different types of ET beings and ET hybrids. Briefly, I mentioned to you the concept of the 5 hybrid races, which is something Bashar shared. Our race being one of the upcoming 6th hybrid race.
Right.
So yes, in this image you see a woman giving birth to an ET hybrid while holding a baby in her arms and lifting a baby above her head. So it's very interesting, very multidimensional. Here we have another woman with ET coming through her belly button. Again, you have many different...
How do you interpret that? And one is in the mouth.
It's not one, it's 3.
3 in the mouth.
So, and then she has many on her back. this was a genetic experiment to create hybrids and things of this nature. So this art,
Again, the same idea. Something coming from the belly.
well, there could be an aspect of artificial insemination being depicted. There could be an aspect of projections from the astral realm, because you see this woman and these other female figures have multiple characters on their head and headdresses. It's this multi-dimensional kind of expression.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the core concept of the collection. There's more.
Oh, here, it lifts it up and shows to the flying saucers.
Yes, while she's giving birth at
Well,
the same time.
I mean, in iconography, the time doesn't have to be the same. It could be on the top could be one time, on the bottom could be another time. But yes, she's giving birth.
So,
Oh wow!
right. When I say transformational or interdimensional, there's a whole lot of, there's many more words we could put here, but the art is just incredible. There's really nothing like this. I mean, I've studied antiquities and been to museums around the world. There's some amazing things out there, but
Yeah, I was going through museums, tons of museums, trying to find something like that, and barely I could find anything.
Right.
And so
Whereas-
it was all censored, and
Right.
but now we have tons.
right in private collections is where these things exist. So
Don't flip fast. Comment on that. So there is another flying saucer. So it's a repeating theme, and there is on the table. Finally, we get a table, like a typical abduction experience.
yeah, we maybe have 40 images here. I've got a couple artifacts. We could do a 24-hour stream on all these. There's so many tables, so many abduction scenes, so many.
I think we should go through all images and comment on all of them.
Well, I've covered most of them. Unfortunately, I have only about 10 minutes left in my
Oh, really?
schedule for today.
Okay.
But in terms of the hybrids and that concept, these, in my opinion, serve as evidence to support that concept.
Let's spend 10 minutes flipping through all of them again,
Okay,
quickly, with like a couple word comments.
sure. We've sort of covered many of them already, but
Oh, let me then click. So I start with the beginning. So you get Bashar,
yes.
Bashar and Scott.
This is the laboratory.
Nassim?
Yep.
You doing something? Is it real?
Of course it's real.
All right. Some weird machine.
It's a free energy
free energy machine.
technology.
Oh wait, you're on the right. On the right. Okay.
This is myself, Scott Brown, and in the center is Oleg, our Russian
Okay.
friend.
So that
This in Mexico.
that's where the artifacts were. Some of them were taken.
Right. This is one of the tablets in the big collection of.
This one we have the saucer and two scenes. That's a storage. I don't understand what it is. What is it? A snake?
Yes, there's a snake. There's a woman holding a baby. There are hieroglyphs.
Good. Okay, so finally we see lots of hieroglyphs, and they're not Egyptian. They're something else. Pretty complex. That is again.
This is the back side of the image we just saw.
Okay.
So just to give some, I mean,
All right.
every one of these is just
All right.
full of information.
Then the moon and the person coming from the moon, and I don't know what it is. And it's again a combination, right? It's
Front and back side.
all right. And this is stylized. The lips are clearly Mexican or something like Mayan.
I can see that.
So one of my points I wanted to make is that these are probably stylistic. How do you say? It's not the the people who draw that doesn't necessarily mean that they saw them. Maybe
Right.
that's through several generations or something.
Yeah, it's also possible that these were interactions in a medicine ceremony. These interactions may not have happened in the physical realm,
Right. Uh-huh.
but these are
Oh,
relic.
so that could be they like astral traveled, met the aliens, and then described them.
I think that's possible. I mean, I think there is room for the understanding of a physical interaction because it shows us procreating with them or them procreating with us. But I do think that if you can see in the imagery, I mean, it's just outside of time and space. It's
Ah.
like, how could you have 4 heads or 3 heads or 8 heads? It means you're
Yeah, like
Eight
Indian
different-
have multiple hands. Yeah.
It's like you have 8 different lifetimes or 8 different soul or connections.
What is that?
Well, this is a winged being holding a baby, and this
Oh, right, yeah.
character is very interesting. It comes up semi. It's kind of sparse in the collection, but if you see the face mask, it's like an astronaut mask. The thatching is making cross hatching patterns. The face, like a fencing mask.
Yeah, yeah.
The thatching on that is just, I mean,
It's hard to do by hand, but it's done by hand.
it's great. And in terms of the 3D relief carving, you look at the feathers and they are not, they have relief. They have,
When it was soft, it was somehow pushed.
yeah, we talked about this earlier that you couldn't see. Like, for example, the hieroglyphs here, they are simple scratches, right? But now the image at the bottom with the priest figure on the table, and if you look from his mouth, there's a being coming out. This is 3D relief carving. So the
Okay.
fingers, the lips, the eyes, there's tons of research there. So this is an image of the earliest written script of the Americas. It's
Alright.
found in the Olmec area, and
So-
it's very similar.
Can you see it somewhere?
This is in La Venta in Mexico.
Okay. All right.
But this is one of the oldest surviving relics of the earliest written script in the
Is
Americas.
it the same one as you see on the artifacts?
It's extremely similar, and
Okay.
this is the research path that I will pursue to decipher the.
So we need AI to look at it.
I think AI would be very helpful.
It's very good in handwriting recognition. I write by handwriting which I cannot understand. It doesn't understand my handwriting, so
That's good.
it's capable of doing graphical things.
This is our first research group from 2019. It's an adhesive research group. We extracted the inlaid eye from this.
What did you extract?
You see the eye is missing.
Oh,
We extracted that to get to the glue that holds the thing in place. This is actually a functional pipe. It's very interesting.
Ah.
It's very small, very tiny, but
so
there
what do you smoke with that pipe?
we haven't smoked anything with it yet.
No,
but
no. What do they smoke with that pipe?
There are many pipes in the collection.
What, I mean,
I don't know what they
the
smoke.
substance should be very strong if it's such a small pipe.
That's right. They could be very much like DMT or things like that. So, anyways, this is a sample group. These are different images of where we extracted samples for glue testing.
How do you call this one?
I call it the dagger. It's known as the dagger.
Okay. Elongated cone head.
Right. So much detail. This is also part of our adhesive group. It's called we call it the Navigator tablet because of these dials, and it seems to have this sort of like mechanical design. Now, I don't know if you can tell, Max, but in the 4 corners of this symbol, there are 4 different beings, 4 different faces, 4 different noses, 4 different eyes. So it's possible that this is some sort of
Astrological map.
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's more of a genealogical map.
Really?
I'm purely speculating, but
Ah.
it's showing the differences I don't know what it says, okay?
It could be a connection, but I would look for 12 zodiac signs, and
We have some that have that.
there is like 6 symmetry 6, so 6 could
So
come
what's
to
very
12,
interesting
and then
about
there's
this-
4 north, south, east, west.
What's very interesting is that this piece actually broke in the possession of a private collector, and the disc that you see in the center, when lifted up into a surface that you would never see because it was cemented or glued in place, there are more glyphs underneath. So it's like
when you make it, you just put glyphs just for the gods and for those who can see through.
right. I mean, it's a level of craftsmanship that really goes beyond forgery. It's like, who could even make this? Why would they go to such extent? But the informational complexities here, this is the back side of that same piece. You have Anubis on the right side.
Oh, right.
You have sort of a pantheon of different beings who are interacting and exchanging, you fill in the blank, technology, information, knowledge, genetics. So this is the that was
Which microscope is that?
that's the $4 million scanning electron microscope.
Okay.
It's right here in La Jolla that
Ah.
we can go use sometime.
I know this gentleman on the left.
Yeah, we met together at Contact. His name is Mark Sims. He's a good friend and one of my original supporters. When you say, how do you afford all this stuff? He was one of the first contributors to get some of the research done. That's at a lab here in San Diego. And this is an image of our time together researching this specific artifact. And
Snake.
Yeah, you see a lot of snake, which Bashar told us is related to the genetic aspect of the interaction. So these are some of the data images of.
So you did channeling with Bashar on that?
Yeah, 2 times private sessions.
Wow.
I have one more coming up in June. Maybe we can phone you in or something. But
Where do you do this physically?
in the past, we've done it in Los Angeles where Daryl lives, but this time around we'll be doing it through Zoom. But the images he's flipping through are just more sample images, more elemental mapping that shows the presence of organic chemistry. These are those crystalline structures.
I'm going back to artifacts.
Yeah, they're a bit random, but yeah, you're getting the whole download here. This is the 3D high resolution surface scanning. And these are some of the 3D
So
scanning.
the color, what does it mean?
It's a depth gradient.
Depth. Oh, okay. Relative to the surface.
Right.
Okay.
Some of the engravings, some of the high ridge lines. This is an ET. Notice the tridactyl features, 3 fingers, 3 toes.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't pay attention.
Right. There's so much to see here. So more measurement.
More writing.
Yeah, more measurements, more writing. You know, these are handmade. They're freehand. Whoever made them had a very...
What's the name of this bean?
Set.
Oh, Set, my favorite.
Right. So very interesting, very connected to material such as the Law of One.
Set is Hermes Trismegistus, which is Hermeticism. I think, maybe.
No,
That's a different one?
Set is the brother of Osiris who murdered Osiris.
Oh, right.
Thoth is Hermes.
Thoth
yeah.
is Hermes, yeah. So, sorry, confused them.
But, it goes into this sort of primordial beginning Genesis story. So this artifact, if you go to the next image, in the lab, we cut it open. Okay, my friend who owns pieces, he said, you know what? I want to know so much. I'm going to cut it open to see what it's made of, what's inside.
He didn't suffer from that sacrilege?
No. He for the sake of discovery and for the sake of science, said, I want to know. How did they make it? Who made it? What's inside? And we were surprised. We did not expect. We were looking for signatures of manufacturing, sequencing and things, how they put it together. When we cut it open in the next image, we found fossilized root systems embedded within, very similar to this. It's like if I chop this open and inside are fossilized root systems.
What is that? Root of what?
Well, keep going to the next image. You can see the trichomes and the mineralization that's occurred. When we cut it open on a tile saw, This is all in laboratory environment under sterile conditions. When we split the two in half, we found this seed floret, the husk of a seed, inside the artifact.
So we could
Deep.
sequence it and find that it's unknown to
No,
to Earth.
Go back. It's a highland grass seed from Jalisco that was
So it's grass?
in here, stuck inside. So that's
So they put it. No, how it cannot grow there? How
Right.
can it grow?
it was preserved inside in the manufacturing and
Oh, I guess they put the seed with the roots.
the roots are evidence of genuine antiquity because that root system had to grow in situ and then fossilize in situ. That process is so delicate and takes certain environmental conditions and takes hundreds, if not thousands of years. These images are from my time at the Geopolymer conference last year, where I presented my research. And the next image,
So these people, they didn't believe you.
this is a very international crowd of PhDs and corporate professionals in the concrete and material science world.
So they didn't care.
No, they absolutely loved it.
Oh, really?
I kind of, was the black sheep, right? Because these people are
So they're
very,
not brainwashed by archaeology, censorship.
I'm coming from left field. It's a material science conference. There's not one person there talking about aliens. But
They don't care, right, about it. Yeah.
and to that point, I don't really care because I'm there to, really learn about them and speak to the experts. I wanted to go there to share my
Right,
research and
right.
learn. So that
To get
experience,
feedback if it is
Yes.
literate.
yes. Am I wrong? Am I, how close am I? And these people were very supportive. This is Joseph Davidovitz in the center
What
on
is he?
his 90th birthday. And this is just after he let me present some of my research. He was
What expertise is his?
He founded geopolymer science in
Okay.
the early 1970s.
Okay.
He's a very accomplished scientist with many publications. So after my talk, I brought small collection of pieces to France like I did today, where these material scientists can look at them and feel them and analyze them and ask me questions. So, I got a lot of great reactions. This is Joseph holding some of the artifacts. We spoke in private where he gave
What's his expertise?
Joseph Davidovitz.
Oh, the same one.
Yeah,
Okay.
material science is his
Mhm.
expertise. So, again, the photos are not like coordinated. So now we're in Peru. These are some of the the isotopic measurements that I was telling you about.
Is it like by simple device you can't tell much, or is it like more radioactive or less radioactive than normal?
Yes,
More.
more.
Oh, so that's another way to test for artifacts.
Yes, which we
Oh,
mentioned.
real.
We mentioned earlier.
But I thought it was very complex. How do you call it?
Go to the next.
Civic.
Civil engineering.
No, the other one. Uranium.
Secular.
Secular.
Yeah, if you go back 2 images. One more. There it is.
So it's
So you have thorium and radon 266, and the decay series. You have these are all published in my paper, but these are some of the measurements. These measurements, by the way, are the Peruvian samples. So we're not looking at artifact data right now. We're looking at Peruvian data, but their composition is somewhat similar. So we can keep panning.
so Peruvian is different.
It-
Peruvian is like big stones.
Yeah,
So we're looking at big stones and they are unusual. What's
they are
unusual?
they're
here?
artificially manufactured stones,
Okay.
right? Geopolymer stones.
Point on the screen. What's the difference?
Where the cursor is right now is one of the metrics to measure how the material is.
how would normally it would look? It would look
They would be in balance, perfect. One,
symmetrical.
yeah, 1 and 1.
So the curve would be flat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
Keep
we'll-
going. Keep going. Keep going. So that's Peruvian.
Yeah, it's
What's that?
a little artifact I brought to Peru in the Coricancha temple. That
All right.
artifact. Here, briefly, you see the stratification lines.
Oh
the
yeah. What does it
casting
mean?
lines. It's a poured cement
Two different stones have the same thing. How is
Yep.
it possible?
because it's a poured cast material. It's not two blocks that perfectly match up the bedding planes of a volcanic rock. It's simply inherent process of casting material into a mold.
But there is a line between them. How is it possible?
Well, that line is not a full seam. Some of them are actually just on the surface.
I don't think it makes sense to me. It's just a mystery.
Sure. The mystery really starts becoming reality when you comprehend and understand the fact that these materials are manufactured, and there's chemical and physical evidence to show that.
No, I just the fact that they poured it doesn't explain a lot of things. It doesn't explain everything.
Of course, it doesn't explain everything, but it is one aspect to the total engineering of what's going on.
Right.
There's these are more related to Peru, so I don't know if there's much more to.
Keep skipping. Skip.
It's good stuff, but we're sort of.
Oh, so they also have this delayed phosphorescence?
Yes, this is sort of.
That's your company?
Yes, Harmonic Research Group. And we're getting towards the end.
Done. Did you start?
They may be repeating, but
okay.
there's that's pretty much the full download for you. Of course, there's so much more we could discuss, but my time is sort of limited today, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to share this with your audience and speak with you.
More stuff here.
Yeah, this is another collection in Peru.
Who is on the left?
Ernesto Cabrera, the son of.
Do they have the similar artifacts?
They have artifacts. They're
with alien almadies?
This is a very famous collection. This is world recognized. This is called the Ica Stone Collection.
Okay.
These feature astronomical events, comet impacts, dinosaurs. It's another thing where
dinosaurs. Okay.
It's another massive museum with over 20,000 pieces that people just say, "Oh, that shit's fake," so no one goes in. But it's sort of the stigma. But one of many other collections around the world that do not see the light of day, don't get reported on.
Do they have like something to sequence, like the ancient mummies?
Yes, I almost got a tooth from that skull I was holding in the previous image, which is a Paracas skull. So, yeah, that's sort of my my short and sweet story for this time, and I'm super grateful for your time. And
thanks, Trevor.
Yes, I'm sure
that's the first time we presented so many images online.
Well, you've done great.
Yeah, thank you. So, I guess you can find Trevor through me. Do you have any other ways to contact you? So you can find me on maxrampel.com and starseedgenetics.com.
Yes.
And we're looking for funding. I'm looking for funding to sequence alien abductees and their families, and to sequence ancient mummies, which Trevor will find.
Yes, I think we'll have some fun.
Especially with elongated skulls and some unusual qualities.
Yeah, we'll have some fun working together.
Wonderful.
Thanks so much.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.